Hello students, welcome to Being Logical, your online social science class with Tanushree ma'am. Today I will be discussing history with you. Today we will learn about French Revolution, which is part of your history syllabus. I already uploaded a lecture video on this chapter with introduction of French Revolution and the social condition of French society. Although I will discuss some part of it, but I request you or suggest you to go through the video before watch this video. So let's move to our today's topic, French Revolution, the incident and its significance on world politics. First, let's locate France in world map. As we can see, the France is a country in European continent, right? And it is surrounded by Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Spain and Atlantic Ocean. The English Channel which separates UK from France. So, let us first understand what happened on 14th July, which resulted one of the biggest events of world politics, that is French Revolution. So what we are going to do in the chapter is we will be going to flashback of the events. That means we first discussed about the event, then move to the reasons behind it. Okay, so in this video we are going to be discuss about what is referred as French Revolution, that means why it is referred as French Revolution, what were the main incident happened on 14 July 1789 and how it was started, and its significance on world politics and its people. Okay, let's move to our next part. Our first topic of discussion, why it is referred as French Revolution. Before going to that, let us see what is revolution is all about. Why, when we refer any incident as revolution. A revolution is a fundamental and relatively sudden change in political power and political organization. That means an incident that will entirely change the political system or the system of a government, how it was worked, how it will affect on the people entirely, is referred as revolution. Okay, and when it is occurred, the population revolt against the government, because that kind of a huge incident, or when it was happen in such a huge level, it's only be done by its people only. Clear? And now let us find the connection between the French Revolution. After the French Revolution, what happened in France is the establishment of a constitutional monarchy, followed by the abolition and execution of French monarchy. That means before the French Revolution, France is actually a monarchical system. France having a monarchical system. In the France, there is a king, and France ruled by a king and a royal family. There is no place of a people in the government. Everything was entirely depend on the wish or the desire of the king. There is no role of its citizens to play. But after that incident, after the 14th July incident of the 14th July, it was changed into a constitutional monarchy. That means there will be monarch. There is nothing that will be no king after that incident. No, there will be the monarch, but at the same time there is a constitution also, where the people of the France having their desire to place in front of the monarch. Clear? That time, the time of the French Revolution, the French monarch was Louis XVI. Clear? At the same time, let's see what is the monarchy is all about, the definition of the monarchy. The definition of the monarchy is a system of a government or rule by king or queen. Clear? Okay, so hopefully this is clear why it is referred as the French Revolution. Clear? Okay. Now let's move to the next part. Let's have a little, let's take the little information regarding the Louis XVI, the person who is in charge of the France during the French Revolution. Okay, his reign started in 1774. Okay, and it was continued up to 21st of September 1792. He became king in 1775, 11th of June. He was born in 1754 and died in 1793. He was married to the Queen of Marie Antoinette of Austria. In the 1774, Louis XVI, a 20-year young boy from the Bourbon dynasty, ascended to the throne of France. Okay, and he was died because of the guillotine. Guillotine is a machine which is actually one of the result of the French Revolution, which was used to beheading people. Okay, and Louis XVI died in the guillotine machine. Okay, let's move to the next part. Okay, now let us see what were the main incident happened on 14 July 1789. On the 17-18 July, the day was started with a command from the king. He commanded to his royal troops to move to the city of the Paris. That time, Paris was the capital of the French dynasty. Okay, he commanded his royal army to move into the city of the Paris. That time, when the royal troop or the royal army was started invading in the Paris, there was rumor spread that the king was ordered the army to open fire to the citizens. Why is it? Because some of the days, because that day or some of the days before, there was the political condition was not okay in the France, okay in the Paris especially, because the people were already started revolting against the king and his government, and some of the decision was taken by the king. For an example, the increase of taxes, the free labor are already triggered or already angered the people towards his king or towards his monarchical government. So because of that rumor, 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall and decided to form a people's militia. They want to protect themselves, right? They want to protect themselves from the royal troops, from the royal army. That's why they want to gather and build a protection against the royal troops. That's why they are forming people militia. Militia means an army formed by the common people. Later on that day, a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of the city, the fortress prison Bastille. Okay. That day, but on that day only, some of the people have moved towards or marched towards the eastern part of the city, fortress prison of Bastille. Okay, what is Bastille? Bastille is actually a fortress where the monarch or the king captured the people who are revolt against the government. They are captured they are prisoned in the fortress Bastille. They attacked the Bastille. The group of the people attacked the Bastille. The commander of the Bastille was killed and the prisoners were released. The group of the people, the angered people, attacked the Bastille. They attacked the Bastille fortress, and the commander who is in charge of the Bastille that time was killed, and prisoners were released. Though there is not a huge amount of prisoners were there, there are some 4, 7 to 8 prisoners were that time in the Bastille. They are released. The Bastille was demolished. They destroyed the Bastille. They destroyed the structure of the Bastille because that time Bastille was the sign or a sign of a let's say sign of a monarchical system where the king is doing extremely extremely hurting to the people. It was a sign of a useless king who is very much tortured their own country's people, own citizens. That incident starts many riots in the Paris and countryside. It was just started in the Bastille, in the Paris, but it spread it throughout the France is very quickly. After the chain of events that the King of France, after the chain of the events, the King of France, Louis XVI was executed, which was the most unexpected thing happen in its time. The Bastille was demolished, and after some events, the Louis XVI was beheaded. He was killed, and he was moved to his position, to his power. It was extremely unexpected thing, because that time, if you go back to that time, whatever the countries were surrounded by the France or the other countries, other civilized countries in Europe, every country was run by entirely monarchical system. There is no place of the people in the government to perform. There is no concept of the democracy. There is no concept of the role of the citizen. There is no concept of the equality, liberty, democracy, independence, nothing. In that time, or for that kind of environment, a country, in European country, a civilized country who are having so much good in art, lecture, art, education, everything. It is very prosperous country. Are able to throw out its king and establish a constitutional monarchy where the power of the king was curbed down, was limited. So it's definitely an unexpected thing to happen in world politics. Am I clear? Now come to that point, why it is so much important in the world politics. Why we see French Revolution why it has its own prestige, own reputation in the world politics. What was the reason behind it? Why French Revolution is that much important in the world politics? The reasons are definitely the most important reason. It presented France to its first constitution. After the incident of the French Revolution, it presented to its citizen of its right, where they can present, where they can have own their rights. They have a role to play in the government, whether it's a very small, which we will be discussing later, but there is a place of the common man who is a commoner having a role to play in the government. It is a very big thing. Next, the abolition of the feudalism. The 18th century of Europe entirely depend on the feudalism. The country that was surrounded by the France, the Belgium, Germany, or Italy, or Spain, all the countries have their own feudal system, and they all are run by the feudal system and monarchy. At that time, France, the French people are able to remove its feudalism from its country. It is a very it has its own importance to its citizen or in the world politics. Next, brought people to the forefront of the politics. Nowadays, we can see that lots of people are involved in the politics. Nowadays, we can see that The citizens are able to place their ideas, their views in the politics, that they are a commoner can be participate in the politics, right? But it was started through the French Revolution, where the normal people I think about to change its government, I think about to be participate or to become a part of its government. Next, the revolution birthed the modern nation state. The concept of the modern nation state that we are having now, it started after the French Revolution. And the most important part, the most important thing that the French Revolution gives to the people of the world is the principle like liberty, fraternity, and democracy. Because before the French Revolution, there is no concept of the liberty among people. They have no ideas about what is fraternity. They have no idea about what is democracy is all about. They can't even imagine that they can change the government. They can't even imagine that together they can bring a change. Together they can change something in the government. And last but not the least, it introduced the male suffrage. That means the voting rights. French Revolution presented the idea of voting rights, but it's only limited that time. It's only limited to male suffrage. That means the adult male citizen of the country are able to count their vote. French Revolution present in its country the concept of the voting, the concept to elect its government, to be part of it, and to become its own ruler. If we go back to that time, it was definitely unique in its own words, in its own parameter. Because if we compare to the condition of the other countries of that time, we can't even imagine that this can be happen. Okay. Hopefully, I hope that the concept or the significance and the importance of the French Revolution is clear to you, and you understood why it is important and how it was started. Okay. So that's all for today. And another important thing, we read the text. Okay, it's important because it's a new thing. It's a new idea, the new it's a new topic that you are going to learn. So it's important to read the text because it's clear out your doubts, and it's hopefully to build a clear concept about it. Okay. So on my next video, what we are going to do, we will discuss the French society, okay, during the 18th century and the reasons leading to the outbreak of revolutionary protest in France. Okay, so that's all for today. Hopefully this will the video is helpful to you and help you to understand the chapter in a better way. For more information and updates, do visit the school website regularly. You will get all your updates there. And if you are having any queries, any doubt, do ask me in the comment section of this video. I will reply it on there. Okay, thank you, and thank you so much. And another important thing, do check my previous videos, which will be helpful to you, okay, to clear your concepts. Okay. Thank you so much.